Hello and welcome back to Let's Make Merle from Grey Skies Dark Waters, an indie video game that was kickstarted a while back. They asked me to make the characters and here I am modeling Merle in ZBrush. This video is going to focus on modeling her feet. In the previous videos we did her pants, her sweater, and most recently her jacket. So you can see that in its finished state. I'm going to blend in the hair as well so that she looks a little bit more feminine. All of this is obviously going to get adjusted, making sure that it doesn't interpenetrate or anything, but as far as the blocking stage goes, I'm almost finished. After the shoes, we'll just have to finish up the little beanie up here. Super cute. And yeah, so without any further ado, let's get started building some topology. So the way I usually go about doing shoes is I make a base topology, which you can basically imagine as the base shape. The base shape of the shoe is the defining shape, the thing that you first see. It's a silhouette, it's the shoe. And then on top of that shape, I'll use the topology brush and build some more detailed cloth patches, I guess. Basically the parts where the shoe is sewn together, each of these layers works really perfectly as either a topology brush or even just an extract from the shoe mesh. But the first thing you need to get a really good extract, in case I want to do that, is a good base topology. So that's what I'm going to start off doing. And then I'm maybe going to sculpt in some details or not, or I'm going to start, depends on how time works. Time is a mysterious thing. So I'm going to start off, this Converse has a really defined contour right here. I'm going to start off by kind of making it like that. Seems like, there we go. Kind of get that kind of a shape going. I've got, so it's an S, kind of a smooth S going down. I was just looking at anatomy for Sculptor's Picture. They have smooth S's. All these statues, all the Greek statues, they've got smooth S's. So it's kind of a word on my tongue right now. It's a smooth S. And it's basically just talking about that shape. That smooth S shape, which really is resonating throughout the art world, throughout art history. Kind of a exciting thought to imagine how we're using the exact same shapes and colors and lines that artists centuries ago were using, and we still got the same kind of a visual language but a new medium. So I don't even know if this is the right way to go modeling it like this, because this is really more of the what's going to be drawn on later. Might just, before I go and define it like this, I'm wondering what I should do. What I'll definitely do is delete this half of the shoe, kind of focus on one side. Let's make sure that I get that real nice and perfect. And you know what? I'm actually going to delete these curves. They're not what I want to do right now. I'm gonna actually just zero mesh this real quick. Oh, where's my zero mesh? There we go. So I'm gonna just block out the basic shape onto here. Tab out, tab in. And it's just gonna be more of a pure sculpting video. So this is the clip curve brush. With this brush I can kind of snap objects, snap shoe in place. I'm working with a little bit more resolution than I usually do, but since this is a blocking mesh, I'm okay with that. Zero mesh that again. I'm using zero mesh the way one would usually use Dynamesh. Why am I doing that? It just gives me nicer topology in case I decide I want to keep it. I guess it doesn't really matter at this point because I'm not iterating it so often that it dreadfully requires a Dynamesh. I'm going to be super sloppy. I'm basically just kind of sketching right now, trying to get that shoe shape really nice and worked out. So up front we have, I'm going to start sketching it. think I kind of intuitively got the base shape of the shoe down pretty quickly, which usually that takes me a bit longer. But Converse has such a symbolic shape that definitely did not take very long. Let's go a little bit lower in subdivision. We've always got that Converse toe, but you don't want to have too much of it. I personally, and I don't even know if I should say this because I know it's kind of a faux pas in certain communities, but I do not like Converse shoes. I find the design quite fascinating, but I don't think that it makes me look attractive. Is the thing. Like, it's a really simple design, it resonates pretty quickly, and it's pretty quick at kind of looking like kind of hip, and that you have a shoe that people notice. But I just find that, I mean, I tried wearing Converse, but they just made all my other clothes look kind of like not very refined, I guess. It's just not my style. So I do like Converse, but I like them on other people. Let's just put it that way. They've got that, the shoelaces on a Converse shoe, they just make it so, I don't even know how to say that. Such an iconic thing that when you see it, I have trouble thinking of anything else design-wise except, oh hey, that is a Converse shoe. See, like already, how this shape here, it's reading Converse shoe. One thing that I do need to do is I'll switch this to a round alpha. It just gives me a bit of a less shape, but when sculpting this rim here, it's kind of a nice thing to have the put that shape in there. I think, yeah, this is going a lot better. Might even start doing the actual detailing in a sec. Let's switch back to the round alpha. I'm going back and forth, sculpting some folds, some language here. Let's see, right here. Careful not to smooth too much. See, something about this shape, it's kind of reading a bit too tall. So I think I'm gonna take this up a bit. Rotate that a bit up. And then flatten it at the outset, and now I'm kind of bringing a little bit of variety to that shape again. Because Converse, for me, they speak of this, like, they elongate the foot kind of artificially almost, making you look like, it's kind of like the same kind of style like people who wear way too long tops. It's just this elongation of your natural form visually, to the point where you just look like you've got really long feet. But yeah, I like this shape a lot more for a foot. It's a lot longer. It's definitely giving you that Converse oomph. Might still be, I almost want to say it's too tall, but it's not. It is actually this shape. What the? Oh no, I accidentally closed out my PureRef. The PureRef close hotkey is also the hotkey for using Ghost Transparency to Control X. So, for soloing my model. So I accidentally just, hope that explains to you why my reference just moved away. I'm gonna make this a bit flatter. Kind of over accentuated that. Yeah, that's the Converse shape we all know and love. Now I want to be a little bit. Maybe I just need to make everything a bit lower here. Yeah, Here we go. Hello, I like Converse. I almost want to make the shoes a little bit too big for her. I don't know where that intuition's coming from, but it's there. Seems like this is a picture of the other side, so I'm just going to mirror this over. Oh no! No, I don't have anything yet. So, let's see. I've got a nice rotation on my shoe, but I'm afraid it might be rotating a little bit in the wrong direction. There we go. It's got a little bit more of that shoe rotation. We got that. Kind of like here. We've got this. And I'm just gonna get the, I don't know what you call this, the inside part of the shoe, to pull out a little bit. I want to have that more slanted. Yeah. Okay. Been told I spend way too much time on shoes, so for that very reason I'm going to start with the actual parts right now and get some base topology in ASAP. This has gone a lot faster so far than I anticipated. So maybe I might even get the whole model done. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to start with that, what I was doing at the very beginning of the episode. So I'm actually going to do it this time, now that I'm sure that I like this shoe shape in a general way. Can't see enough there. This might be the right picture. Now that I've kind of sketched it out, yeah, this is what I want. This is what I need. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take this around. Hope I don't have like symmetry on that. And what's awesome about this picture is you've immediately got the other side here, so I know straight off of the bat that this is where the seam is going to be, which is awesome. I was mentioned earlier that I was considering to just mask and extract this, but I think I'm going to build the topology by hand just because it gives me a bit more control, and I'm not super happy with the topology that ZBrush made, and I'm just not into, I'm not really that excited about tweaking it until it looks just right. So I figure I just draw it from the outset, since I love the topology brush so much, obviously. I'm going to start with some straight loops down here, and then what's going to be super important is to get this seam down here, and literally seam. Get this seam down here, and then get that. It's so funny how similar to 3D topology this shoe topology is right now. It just says another thing about Converse. Very geometric design. Fascinating. I think I'm actually going to make these into miniature rects just by drawing this and this. That's just going to give me a bit of a nicer topology on that. And then we have a rect here. Down, 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 down. Aww, you didn't do it. What? We've got 2 here. We've got 4 here. What's the difference in this? What's the difference here?
Sunshine is my destroyer.
There we go. Oh, yep, and they've... Oh, did you see what I did there? I've warned myself of this so many times. Something is still not working. There. I've got those 3. Oh, and I made this one up, so now if I just do it like this and like this. Okay, I'm just getting lost in way too many details here. Forget about this. We want to go and kind of speed model this, so I'll just model that later with a different brush. Wait, I don't know what happened to me there. Go through here like that. Just gonna do a basic outline and then use a stitches insert multi-mesh to actually create the stitches themselves and just not worry about being that anal. Because for the jacket, I think what the problem is for the jacket, we had to be so super precise with the topology that now I'm just in hyper topology mode and my eye just wants every single bit of topology to be perfectly in touch with the seams, and that's just not necessary right now. We can draw that by hand. That's not that necessary. Just making my standard shoe topology seams for this part of the shoe. It's kind of sad how often I've done this. I'm gonna make it give it a little bit of a thickness, and then split unmasked points. So now we have this, and then we're gonna subdivide that later, sculpt on it, and kind of go about doing that process for the whole rest of the shoe. And that's how I make shoes. That's my that's the favorite part of me. And obviously, you can kind of theorize about how and where everything attaches. And once you kind of have that figured out, the shape of the shoe is just kind of sewing around the foot, and it's really kind of fun. I would love to have shoe blueprints to work with, but I don't. I don't even know how I would go about getting those. See, on the other side, it's a lot higher, this seam, so I didn't worry about that as much. The bolts, the shoe sequins, whatever, come over a lot higher. So, looking forward to the day when I'm all old and wise and know my terminology, but that day is not yet. Someday I'll be able to name all the parts of this shoe, and I'll be so good at it. It's gonna be really awesome, but I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet in a lot of ways. Sometimes just thinking artistically about how much you improve in just a couple of years, and being like, oh man, I thought I was so good back then. Now I look at that, and I'm like, wow, I can do a lot better. Imagining that, like, it just keeps on going that way until, I don't know, maybe someday the future will all be gods at art. Unfortunately, nowadays we still die, so there's that, which is unfortunate. Every day we lose so many great artists to death. Let's see, I'm gonna sew it here, kind of sew this around, and I'm gonna sew it kind of over like that. Let's see if I can find a better picture of this side of the shoe. Yeah. We're kind of sewing. I think I did a little bit. I don't like that curve. Just gonna put a mark here. It's got a bit more of a smooth curve down than that. Moving out. I'm gonna attach down here. I'm gonna move that around later, but right now I'm happy. This is gonna go along where that seam is, because that's where the shoe gets sewn together. And then we've got the exact same pattern here as there. Actually, I'm just gonna go down a little bit further. I'm gonna go down a little bit further. And we're gonna take this seam and feed it in here, just so this can then go like that. Voila. And we're gonna sew it back together here. Let's see. Which one is the overlapping part? That's going to be this one. So this is going to go under. always important to make one line, which is absolutely, if it's a corner, to turn it, because that way it'll subdivide better. There we go. And it's gonna get that, so that we can get that nice corner there. We have to drag this all around everywhere, so just gonna go quick, just lay down this topology and get a start. Okay. Oh, I know this song. I really like this song. Or we're gonna. I think we're definitely gonna need at least one more topology thing. Edge loop. Edge loops. I've degraded to the point where I'm just calling edge loops topology thing. Oh my goodness, the culture is getting more stupid every day. It's making me stupid. There we go. Da 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 da. Let's make it small. Split on mass points. So. Now we have all the basic cloth parts of this Converse shoe. I'm gonna go ahead and model the plastic here. Which, should I model that? Yeah, I think I do need to model it just because, yeah, I need to model it. I was considering just using the base mesh for that to save time, for time's sake, but it's gonna just, I'm just gonna have more control if I model it, and it doesn't take that long, so. Oh, how's time talk? Oh, we have so much time. This is great. I always get nervous about time with shoes because I know that I like to lose myself in detail when it comes to shoes. So in a minute I'll do something after I separate this, the edge of the sole. I'm actually gonna go undo history back to where I am right now and build the sole from the exact same curve. Ah, nice. Somebody's gonna be looking at my videos later today. I feel so pleased. Now this is actually, considering I could have used the curve insert brush for this. Oh no, just wouldn't feel right, I think. Now if I was gonna be really anal, which, I mean, I'm willing to go there, but it's not something I would do regularly. I would be matching up the faces here with the faces that I made in this topology brush, but I'm not going to bother for this since I don't think it's going to be that important. Okay, split unmasked points, so now I'm going to go and undo back to here, and actually see, I've got the sole rim here. Now I'm going to use the same line to make the sole of the Converse. And now it actually, hold on. Oh fuck, I already lost my undo history. See, now it would make a whole lot of sense if I actually oriented myself on the loops right here. Let's see if I can, what could I do here? I'll do something really brutal. I'm just gonna inflate this mesh and then go back to here, turn off ghost transparency, and actually draw this in. No idea what's happening to the music. No, you do not snap. Why are you not snapping? Oh, it's because I have ghost transparency. Okay, so turn ghost transparency on again. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, and this way it'll just match up. It's not gonna be perfect as if I'd kept the side edge loops, but hey, that's good enough. It's an odd transition in this music mix. Well, I guess I'll... I can't even see the edge loops. It can't matter that much. There we go. And the way I'm going to connect these, I'm going to put a center line here. It's kind of a shoe sole line. Connect these up. Connect these up. Wow, it seems like could this be I've intuitively placed them all perfectly? No, it could not be. That's a definitely not. I'm definitely not that advanced in my placement. But I can do it. I'm just gonna cheat a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna add one more right here, all the way through there. And this. And let's put this right here. This right here. It's kind of like filling in a puzzle. Like, really addicting. Like, a really addicting puzzle. Like, oh, filling in all these topology squares. I'm gonna miss that so much if automatic retopology ever gets... Oh, I've got an uneven number of edge loops. What am I gonna do? Fuck. Fuck. I'm gonna just put another one right here. Problem solved. There we go. And now we have the sole of our shoe. I'm gonna make it pretty thin. Okay. What else do we need? What do we need? What do we need? We need this flap right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and it's gonna be a thick one. Haha. It seems to be going all the way I'm gonna just call it one level past the little thing and then one more. So I'm gonna start right here. Put that on top. Okay, so that's on the outside side. It's going up to right here. And all these things I'm obviously gonna tweak, push back and forth. I'm just generating base topology right now to be able to work with in a clean manner. And which I could probably, maybe, I don't know. I usually bake directly onto the base mesh. And then you have all these nice high detail parts baked onto just this thing I'm painting on. So this will have nicer topology and I'm just gonna retopo that, make it snap to the high mesh, and then voila! We got it. Odd. Music sounds like it's playing two songs at once. But I just paused the YouTube I'm listening to, and it's got only one. Like, otherwise, like if I had another song, I don't know, playing autoplay on Facebook or somewhere else, it would pause. But when I do this, it's all quiet. So I don't know. Guess it's just a weird song playing two melodies at the same time. Maybe it's just that this playlist, when it transitions from one song to another, it uses a really odd fade, like a super long fade between the songs. Kind of an odd choice, I think, but sure, let's go with it. Okay, what are you doing, Mr. Topology Brush? Ah, figure her. But nah. There we go. Okay. Make this a bit thicker. A bit thicker, I said. And split unmasked points. Okay, I think we've got the... yeah, I'm gonna make one more. Oh god, I love Carpenter Blue. Just every time I hear this, it just takes me back. He's the guy who made the music for Hotline Miami too. I guess that's what he's most well known for, but he just makes gorgeous retro wave mixes. Probably him, Van Turnimus, and Perturbator are the number ones. Just absolutely perfect music. I'm trying to kind of line up these edge loops, but not doing a very good job. I'm gonna take that through there, take this through here, connect that. Maybe should I add another edge loop, or is this going to be good? No, this is going to be a very low frequency surface. So in a couple of videos ago I was talking about how different frequencies can also be reflected in the actual topology you are building. So the density of the topology should actually kind of reflect the frequency of the visual noise you want to put in there. So in this case, yes, I could add another loop and it would probably define the shape a bit better, but since the frequency of this part of the shoe is going to be pretty much the cleanest part of the shoe, I'm just gonna go and not put in that extra edge loop. Basically, those are a lot of weird words that are to describe a very simple thing of me just, I'm not going to put in these extra edge loops. Make everything visible. I'm gonna go ahead and hide the base mesh just because, yeah, just so I can see. Okay, hey, this is already looking a lot like a Converse shoe. I'm going to start kind of going through all of these and checking what they look like in dynamic subdivision. Yeah, it's a perfect shape. Sometimes, most of the times, less is more. Especially when working in ZBrush, that's something so many people can forget since you have an infinite level of more. But less is more. Gotta always remind myself of that. Nice, it automatically put my creases where I want them. That's what I love about that topology brush. If you use the automatic thickness. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually go into the same thing I was doing for the jacket. You probably hate seeing me do this at this point, but there's just no better way to kind of sculpt in a technical way than to... I guess it's a remnant of subdivision sculpting in regular digital content, non-sculpting digital content creation apps is when you were doing subsurface multi-resolution sculpting is the alpha and omega is basically the crease and setting edge hardness and edge creaseness. BSD. That's the, what the hell? BBS. Best. Yes. So, while sure, we don't really need that anymore, but it sure does help being able to crease edges, especially just so much more control about exactly what this edge is going to look like later on. I'm going to pull this one out a bit more, just using the standard brush to do that. These little dots are actually the actual mesh where it's positioned, and the reason there's two is because this one has thickness. We've got an inside and an outside, while with the jacket we were only working with an inside. On here, since that's a corner, I want to use the Aku curve. Basically, whenever you're dragging something that should be a corner, the Aku curve is the way to go. Same here, up top. You don't want to have that corner. And I'm gonna drag this up since that's something I kind of neglected in the in relation to the original concept. And somehow, I don't know, maybe it's got to get smaller? I think it's got to get smaller. I didn't quite paint that correctly in my blocking. So unfortunately I have to adjust that now. It would have been more optimal to adjust that during the blocking phase. But what the hell? You gotta do what you gotta do. I'm gonna go through, continue right on with my dynamic creasing. Here, whoa, I did not mean to put that color there. DCM. So sometimes in my head, And since these videos are basically just me spewing forth what is in my head, I've got like, I always hear myself singing the brush hotkeys. So BZM is the Z modeler brush, and that one has been getting a lot of attention lately, obviously. Oh, wait a second. I did not want to take this. This is going over. And this one can actually flatten the fuck out, BFA, which is the Bachelor of Fine Arts, and also the flatten brush and ZBrush. There we go. Take that underneath. Yeah, because it's, I think we decided that, yeah, this one's going under the other one. So BMV this, so whenever, in my head I actually refer to brushes with their ZBrush hotkey as opposed to their actual name. So instead of the move brush, I call it the BMV. It's kind of like a BMW, but it's a BMV. Don't ask me why, it just is that way. So if I'm saying things like, just gonna grab that BMV, it means the brush that comes after you type B and M and V. Kind of a funny little thing how our brains process symbols. So the symbol in my head for brush is the BMV. I'm gonna take the base mesh and hide that just because I can't see anything modeling the inside of the shoe. Something like one of the main mistakes I used to make when I started modeling shoes, back in the day when I hadn't modeled that many shoes, was that I would try and model them both at the same time, and just don't. It's a pain. Just don't do that. Just model one shoe and then mirror everything over. There's no reason. I mean, there is one reason. There is one good thing that happens from modeling shoes symmetrically, and that's when you're doing the base. Because you want to know how it reads when both of them are side by side. It's one of the mistakes of modeling a lot of DCC apps that don't have a dedicated mirror modifier is that people model only one side without seeing the way the actual model looks like in space after they mirrored. And then they mirrored. And when I say they, I mean me, when I was working in Maya. Other people are probably brilliant at this. But I would mirror the model and then be like, oh, wow, that looks very different than what I was just modeling. And Maya just doesn't have a real-time symmetrical mirroring option. So it's, as far as I know, I was working back in 2012. Maybe they added something which does that. But just a terrible idea not having a symmetrical mirror, because our eyes need to see, to be able to judge the silhouette, we need to be able to see it from both sides. Super, I don't know who, and yes, I have tried using the symmetry tools, but I just never been able to get them to work, and especially not in real time. Just a terrible idea by whoever coded them to like not do that. But maybe they fix it. I always have hope that Autodesk will one day not follow in the path of all the other shareholder companies and just release shit without any creativity, and actually make something that's useful for a change. But I will let my Autodesk rant fly. This is not about Autodesk. This is about modeling shoes. So I'm gonna try and calm the fuck down. Stop talking about Autodesk, because otherwise they might sue me. I feel like they're one of those companies that is aggressive about that. Just from the way I see very few people complaining about that and then living to breathe another day. So I'm gonna be quiet. Admittedly, they have a very difficult job. But they brought it on themselves by buying everything. So I have no pity for them. You don't go and buy every DCC app out there, kill half of them, and just kind of slowly strangle the rest. That's not something that I'm cool with supporting. But that is how shareholder companies work. I'm gonna kind of squeeze this one in here to get it to have a bit of that pop up there. Pop Pepe. Pop Pepe. Yeah, I really like how this fold came out here. I didn't expect that, but it's kind of making a nice shape, kind of like it's doing there, as if it was actually on her foot. So I'm really happy with how this is turning out. Definitely haven't detailed it yet, but yeah, it's going well, going well. Let's see how we're doing with time. I tend to lose time so quickly. Okay, so it looks like I'll go ahead and go through detailing this, shaping up this bottom sole thing, and possibly extruding and doing some modeling here. So that is the television broadcast for that's the programming for the next couple minutes. This should definitely be a lot flatter, unfortunately. Oh god, it's doing that terrible transition in the music again. I really have to get a better playlist at some point. Oh god, make it stop! Error occurred. Oh no, I just wanted to do another. Here we go. I could be cool and chill and put music that I have the copyright to, open source music in the background later, and then actually control when it goes and think things through. But since this is a stream and quantity is more than quality, I'm kind of winging it by playing music. And if I do switch to a stream format, there won't be really an alternative since it'll be live. Because this is not a for real stream yet. I could theoretically go and edit all of this video, the masochist that I am, and make it pretty with graphics and stuff, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Graphics and good music. Because that mix back there was not good music. I could go and model the soul of this, but I'm not going to, simply because I don't think you'll see it ever. Though I do love modeling shoe soles. That is one of the great orgasms of product design, is the shoe sole. I don't know why I'm so attracted to shoe soles. I'm not attracted to feet very much at all. I think they're ugly. Maybe it's because shoes cover up feet. Is it doing the same thing where it's blending forever? Oh no, it isn't. That was just a song. So now I'm hyper allergic to song transitions, songs fading for eternity between each other. Oh, let's dynamicize this. And that needs a definite hard edge. Kind of wondering how I could maybe go about creating this small... I could use a real small inset. Oh well, that's definitely going to be the detailing phase. Has nothing to do with what I'm currently doing. So like this, crease edge, crease edge. Dynamic. The side. Good music follows your emotions. And it does not just stop like that, so I guess this does not count as good music. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think I'm going to take this over the bottom. I was questioning which layer to put it on, but I think this is going to be the correct one. And now, the part you have all been waiting for me to show you how to cheat. Go to brush. I've got a Google Drive of a bunch of different insert mesh brushes which I've collected, and they synchronize over my different workstations, so I'm happy with that. And one of those brushes, I think somebody posted in ZBrush form, and I would love to give credit if I could remember, but it's an insert shoelace brush, basically. It's as awesome as it sounds. It works really good. Where is it? I think I added some other. Here we go, laces. I added a couple more loose laces for like a medieval setting. But these right here, well, I don't know if these are what I want. I might actually, you know what? I'm not gonna cheat. I'm gonna do these myself. It's not gonna take as long because those are round laces, and Converse are so iconic for having flat laces. And there's a way that is absolutely non-cheatable in ZBrush to make flat straps. It's called the BCJ. Oh wait, there's different names for brushes. It's called the curve strap snap. And it looks like this. It's awesome. This is one of the most used insert mesh brushes of all time for myself. And let's see, that's not thick enough. That looks good. Now I want it to be a little thinner, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into my curve modifiers, and here I've made a little collection of a lot of different curve settings which are distributed willy-nilly throughout the interface. It's kind of tough to get these all in one. So there's a strength multiplier here, and if you take that down a bit, you get a thinner curve, or a thinner insert multi-mesh, which is put along the third curve. So basically the Z of the insert multi-mesh is multiplied by that strength multiplier, which I have now set to 0.6 as opposed to 1, so it's a little thinner than it usually is, which gives me the shape of this shoelace a little bit better. It's gonna be tough finding the exact right size, but once we have it, it should be good. Yeah, I like 11. I like 11. That's a good shape. Let's see. Oh, this is gold. This is when somebody gives you a reference and it's just this good. I mean, you cannot complain. How do I rotate? Let me just check this real quick. Oh, it wasn't in here. You have to press Control. Here we go. Zoom out. Move this up here. And go into perspective mode. That's going to hide a bit more, but it's still not enough. So I'm going to go and hide all these other things here, just so I can have a clear vision of what the fuck I'm doing. Where's my... there we go. Is this thing in the way? That is the sweater. How's the sweater? Oh, I'm on the sweater. Okay. Now what I want to do is I'm going to go onto the base shoe mesh, since that doesn't have any subdivision levels. And let's go! I'm just gonna get the basics here and then move them up and down later. And this is how I usually make shoelaces. And later, obviously, insert these holes. I might be able to actually model them into the mesh. See if I can manage that. See how many are there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To get it to register and basically accept, you have to tap onto the mesh. That last one just wasn't long enough for my taste. Just wasn't long enough for my taste. Gonna kind of get a little bit more gravity working with the shoe. Go through here. It's gonna be the final holes. And should she have her shoelaces tied? I wish this had a picture of the actual shoelaces. They're not even visible. But since this has, we do have to model them since. I'm gonna do it like this. If I take the other one and go through there, that's gonna be super boring. It gotta be longer. Okay, that should be fun. Alright, and so much for the shoelaces. I'm going to go ahead and split unmasked points on that. Unhide these. And start kind of shaping them now. They're always going to be getting a little smaller here towards the ends. So that's going to be important. There we go. Because shoelaces, no matter their shape, they get kind of squished when going through holes. I love move topological. Gonna have to get a lot smaller too. I think I'm going to actually separate off the laces, the tie, the shoe, the tied part of the shoes. Yeah. Yeah. This is all right. I'm gonna take this and put it underneath. And since we've modeled everything correctly, it's actually behaving the way it should. Which is nice. And that's where having layers actually saves a lot of time, I think, in modeling shoes. So yeah. See if I can grab this one here. Yeah, it's getting there. It's going to require some moving around. This is going to be going on top. So the one, it's always going to go over on the bottom and then come out. No, go over. If the shoelace is coming from, you need to have kind of a system. So if the shoelace is coming over from the bottom, it's going to be going in from the top, and that's going to be the same overall. So I'm going to have to make sure that that's consistent. Gotta set my priorities straight here, man. Alright, here we go. Move this. Alright, there we go, there we go. Move this in. Yeah, I was doing it the wrong way, but I think now it's gonna go correctly. So we're gonna do bottom goes over, top goes under. And that kind of like detail, attention to detail and consistency is what I hope that will then kind of sell the fact that this shoe is a shoe and has a rational use behind it. And just letting the brain recognize the shoe as a shoe. Alright, here we go. Gonna take this, switch these out, and switch this one out. Take this one out and over, because that is what Converse is about. And the left side is always going over. Making custom, actually modeling the shoelaces does take a lot of time, but if you weren't going to model them, you're just going to have to paint them in the texture editor, and that's going to take a lot of time too. So I don't see any reason not to model them. They just take a while. So do all good things in life. Let's see If I stretch this around enough, maybe it'll make a shoelace. Otherwise I'm gonna have to BS something. Hey, that's starting to look like a shoe tie. Yay! We'll just have this one go in, go up and over here. Oh, la la la. Make more sense if this got rotated a bit here. Let's take this out. Turn off AccuCurve because we just want to get smooth movement here. And I'm going to go with another rotation for this section. I don't know which way to rotate it, honestly. I'll rotate it a little bit more here, and then all I know is it needs to get rotated to add a little bit more dynamicity. Alright, so this is already starting to go a bit much into the detailing, and during this part I really prefer to focus on just getting the base object and getting the base mesh, and we clearly have that now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and end it, and next time we'll start making the base mesh for the little for her little hoodie, not hoodie, for her beanie, and then see where we go from there. Made it pretty big. Don't shoe ties usually have like a loop instead of just a knot? Okay, we gotta we got yeah, we forgot the fuck. Okay, yeah, I was thinking like, man, there's something like missing here, and that's the the shoe ties. Oh god. I think, yeah, there we go. That's gonna look a lot better. There we go. I'm actually trying to get a little bit more of a flat shape here. There we go. That looks like a Converse, ladies and gentlemen. That is starting to look like a Converse. I'm gonna split those on mask points. Gonna go down, merge this down one. Okay. And we're just gonna real quickly take these out, get the basic shape defined. There we go. BSing it a little bit. I'm not quite sure how those would actually connect in real life, but I think it's more than enough detail for a model that you're never really gonna have a close-up of the shoes. Anyway, so let's see what we have here. I'm just gonna make everything visible that we have made so far. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna take those shoes, mirror them over to the other side. Yep, we have successfully modeled the base, completed the base modeling for Merle. Next steps are going to be a lot more artistic and creative. Detailing is a lot more fun to watch because there's a lot more action happening. So I'm really looking forward to streaming that with you guys. And until then, keep chilling. Like this video if you thought it was fun. Give it a dislike if you think I'm a terrible modeler and have no idea what product design is, and have never believed that I have never ever modeled a shoe before and that I did a terrible job of pretending I knew what I was doing. I bid you adieu until next time.